Get it in you.
Oh.
Get it in you. There you go. There you go. We'll start there.
Oh, my delicious num-nums of the Red Bull.
No recording of beeping Discord noises, though, right?
No.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I had it on streamer mode, but now it won't even matter because I'm not recording the desktop audio, remember?
This is true. All right.
Instead, you're going to get clicking and keyboard noises.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing shit to stay awake. Because fuck.
Yeah.
It's 9 a.m.
Last week it was 9 a.m. for me, so I guess it's a ball pass back and forth. You know.
Shove this ball right up your fucking ass.
I was going to take both 9 a.m.s. It just happened to work out this way. But this is going to be an interesting one because energy-wise we're in almost the same place for the complete opposite reasons. Because it's 9 a.m. over there on the west side, and by west side I mean the Westerners.
I don't know, it's all relative.
But over here...
Think about it.
Over here on the Beast Coast, and by the Beast Coast I mean the new era.
This bit is so awful. Just get it over with. Oh my god.
The post-Heisei era. Okay, so
holy shit.
It's 10 p.m. out here. I'm literally... You want to guess where I am?
In bed?
I'm on fucking Bunny Island.
Oh, you're on Okunoshima.
I'm literally on Bunny Island right now. I'm in the hotel. I'm staying...
Oh, cool, man.
We're staying overnight at Bunny Island, and it was one of those things where I'm like, I wanted a slow day because, like, yesterday was really intense, and we got here just as the sun was going down, so we caught the last of the fatty bunnies going to sleep. And we got in, and, like, yeah, tomorrow's going to be bunny morning, but, like, either way, it turns out I was just getting ready to sleep in a barn with a bunch of fucking rabbits jumping around and shit. And it turns out it's a really classy ryokan, and it's got an onsen in it. So I took a dip, and I did the super relaxing, you know, fucking hot bath and all that shit. I'm wearing the robes right now, and I'm ready to just drift off into the magic night of sleep. So,
oh, how wonderful!
I you know,
I'm so embittered.
It just happened to work out this way, dude. I'm like,
hey, how'd you like getting on the ferry at fucking Inaba Station?
Yeah, so we got on the ferry. I mean, honestly, like, we had a weird one because we got out at I forgot whatever it was, but like, we just took the Shinkansen out to like super small little cute town, you know. But I didn't realize this was such a fancy joint because when I got to the ferry, the ferryman was like holding a piece of paper where he's like with my name on it. And then when I got off, he had a little pocket talk machine that was like, oh, there's a car waiting for you. So apparently, like, if you decide to stay on Bunny Island, you're fucking rabbit royalty. So that's nice.
Japan feels like a different planet, like, all of the time.
You know what we fucking swerved hard on, though, is I was wearing my slippers the whole time, and I realized just before we got here that, rabbit shit will be everything. My world will be rabbit shit. And we swerved into a department store at the last second and picked up some disposable shoes. So, like, thank God, because I'm like, I'm not fucking doing it. Like, I know of all the animal shit you have to deal with, rabbits are probably the least bad.
It's like pellets, man.
Yeah, it's probably the least bad. Say any herbivore is fine, you know? But ultimately I'll
be real, man. I did not encounter that issue when I went to Okunoshima.
Huh.
Granted, we didn't stay there. We just took like a little day trip.
Yeah.
But my shoes were fine.
If I can be real, I went back to your video and I examined your feet to see what was happening down there.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just wearing my regular shoes.
I wanted to know. But either way.
My shoes got fucking ruined for a different reason because I was wearing them out in the monsoon when I got hit by a monsoon. And they were just like abjectly ruined.
It's fine. I got the disposables. We're gonna chuck them when it's done. It's all good. We'll see. But yeah, no, cute. Like, and like the branding of Bunny Island is fucking. It's clear. It's the little shop where they're like, take all these little rabbit pictures, do your purikura, and like we happened to walk in and see like a super huge crazy bunny fan. This lady that was wearing a dress made of like pictures of bunnies, and she had a bunny purse and a bunny jacket, and was super in, just like waiting to go the whole time. It was really funny and exciting to see her like getting way hype on the ride back from the boat to the hotel. Like she was just staring out the window, like getting really into it.
Don't you understand about the bunnies?
Yeah, we're gonna find out tomorrow. It's gonna be a thing. Usagi Adventure. But speaking of Usagi, yesterday was USJ.
Yes.
So I don't know what was around when you did it, but I remember you saw the Attack on Titan and you saw the Resident Evil thing, right?
No, though, in fact, part of the trip's misery was that those were not in place. You remembered the opposite of that story, sir.
I really thought you got those. Okay, I vaguely remember a giant Aaron statue, and
nope.
You describing that. Okay, well,
nope. That's a complete fabrication of your mind.
Okay, well, did the USJ? That's sorry to hear. And
no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
And I guess, like, starting, we got there early in the morning, went in, and got the pass that was just like, fuck lines, come at this assigned time.
Isn't that great?
It's the fucking best. It's
do our theme parks do that? Or
probably.
Do we just do like a pass that skips the line?
I honestly, like, you can charge people for extra shit. I can imagine they'd have our theme parks having that as well. Like, I know that Disney had some sort of like pass system as well for like the hardcore Disney heads that go, and the coaster chasers or whatever the fuck they're called. But here I'm just like, fuck the roller coasters, fuck all of that. I'm here for fucking anime rides that I'm never going to see anywhere else in the world. Such as Harry Potter. So
there is an English version of that ride in Florida.
Yeah, and I hear it's very similar because Austin was telling me about like the differences between the two. Steph's a huge Harry Potter mark, so we went to do that. We saw the old wand magician guy doing his best Japanese while speaking English, and bless his heart, he really tried. He stumbled a bit over the Japanese lines, but it was quite impressive that he memorized them to begin with. The Harry Potter ride is super impressive because they do fucking magic with a really small room. Like,
yeah, it's very tiny.
I thought it really, really felt like a roller coaster, but you're just inside of a little like NASA-style gyro that's kind of rotating on a track. And it moves from it moves between like 3 or 4 dome screens with a couple of props in between them. But you feel like a full roller coaster ride. It's really impressive. Yeah. The drops felt real. The rising felt real. You were on like a broomstick kind of flying through. But apparently the first version of this ride had 3D glasses as well. And that was too fucking much.
Terrible idea. That seems awful.
Apparently it was too fucking much for people, so they just dropped it down to, this only, the dome screen and the movement. But it was really fucking cool, so that was sick. I don't know did they do the collector popcorn buckets when you were there?
Not that I remember.
So they always do these collectible popcorn buckets for whatever's in season at the time, and like they had like the Sailor Moon pouch kind of thing. And when we went, like, the special was supposed to be, well, basically what they had was, the Ava head, right? So a Unit 1 head that opens up and has the fucking lights go off and then popcorn in its dome. And it's super fucked thinking about the context of what this is. And
don't worry about it.
Just thinking about Hideaki Anno suffering and going through the worst of his life while we're feasting on popcorn inside of this thing and having a grand old time. But yeah, no.
I don't know. When has consumerism stopped at, like, Ava? Like, Ava's the most... How do I put this? I'm sorry, my brain is fried.
That's fine.
But Ava is the most, like, dissonant property to ever exist with its own merch.
Yes, but at the same time, when you're seeing it surrounded and drowning in a sea of minions and Snoopy without peanuts.
Yeah, that shit's weird.
Snoopy without peanuts, mind you, and Minions without Despicable Me, because what the fuck is that?
Who's even Peanuts or whatever?
Yeah,
what is a peanut even?
Though it is beyond weird and wild, because people are just fucking loving these cute yellow things, whatever they are, wherever they come from. We love them, we need them. Holy shit, we're marking out at the dance party. The Minion dance party is starting now. Yeah, so anyway, I did Harry Potter. Did the Sailor Moon ride, which is basically a 4D movie. You know, you put on the glasses and then, like, they do a little adventure, and then all the sailors show up, and then an evil villain sucks their energy, and then they save the day. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it was interesting seeing a CG version of Sailor Moon in the end. The transformations look pretty good in 3D. Like, that's probably the best part of it. You know, but it was like, put your hands up, lend her your power, make a heart symbol to save all the Sailor Scouts. Yay. You know.
But what if you don't do any of that shit? I bet it still saves the day.
Then all the kids around you cry, and you helped the evil win. So,
stupid kids.
And you know, seeing Chibi Moon jumping around and whatnot, of course I was loudly asking where the unicorn was, because...
Don't do that.
Because we have to...
Don't do that.
It's fine. It's fine. It's in English. The kids don't understand what I'm saying. They don't know.
I don't know. They could understand like 1% of it and just be traumatized for life because they have to remember that episode. It's just weird.
Mama, bestiality wa nan desu ka? Mama. Anyway, so we then got to check out what came second. I want to say we got to check out Attack on Titan. So they had the Attack on Titan ride, and all of the giant props and stuff were gone. I know earlier on they had like a hand that you could get into that was like a crane, and then it lifted you up to a Titan mouth and you take a picture of you getting eaten. But that shit's gone, unfortunately.
That's kind of fucked.
It
I
is.
like that.
Yeah. But we did the actual ride, and I have to say, man, as someone who is like currently marking out really hard, like I'm super in on like the last season and how the plot's coming together. It was really great to see them kind of do an updated like ride where they're like, okay, we're up to date with the current events. And when you're watching the highlights in line, we're showing you like the best parts of the story till now and just getting you super hyped and prepped. It was interesting because it was simultaneously a 3D, 4D movie or whatever they call it. It was that. It was a real effects show, light show, and it had live action actors in it all at the same time. So this
had live action. Oh, weird.
Yeah. So there was like a mixture of all things going on, and like you basically had a bunch of the soldiers. Like there's a stage that looked like a destroyed version of the Shishigami district, and then a bunch of the scouts were on stage, and then moments would kind of jump from the screen to the stage and then back and such. And it's also a room that has screens surrounding you in all directions. So they just played with all of it. They made it like all at the same time. In the end, pretty fucking impressive in a lot of ways. One of the coolest things ever is they're like, so I'm talking about like the most recent season, season 3, part 2 of Attack on Titan, where they're knocking on the walls a little bit. you know, and like you kind of focus on some of those parts, and then suddenly like a villain just breaks out of nowhere, and like the screen then like kind of blows up, and then the live action actors are on the stage fighting, you know, and you're seeing like costumed versions of like main characters doing like a cool choreography with the blades and shit. And it's fucking sick because there's one awesome moment where one of those characters does a fucking bite, and then smoke shoots out and fills the room, and yellow lights go off, and the effect of like a lightning strike kind of feels like it goes down, and it's like well, not the exact like lightning, but like a yellow light kind of shoots up and simulates shit going down. So it was pretty hype. The one thing is when it cut to the 3D was very unfinished, very temporary feeling, somewhat amateur,
what are you talking about?
And inferior to even the new game in some moments. So,
I'm sure it looked great.
So that was the one part that was like, God damn it, if the 3D was on par with every other ride here, this would have been perfect. Because like direction and like music and everything, and live action especially, was done super well. But that one thing kind of hurt it, you know. Still super cool, and all in all, like a really
that CG is the fucking worst ever. Like bad animation.
It takes you out of it. It can take you out of it.
But bad,
like there's a moment,
incredible bulk shit.
There's a fantastic moment where the Colossal pops up, and you have to turn your head around because it's behind you on a gigantic screen at the rear of the theater. But it pops up and then it stops moving, and it just stands still for a while, and you're like, oh man,
that's so crazy. It's really big.
But these people in Titan costumes are walking around in front and through the crowd, and they look freaky as fuck. Like some of those, like the big-nosed creepy one, the Beast Titan, the crawling one. Like you're seeing people in giant like mascot outfits walking around as Titans, and that shit is horrifying. It's great, you know. So that works out well. Yeah, and I think. I think it was the last day for a couple of these rides too, so we happened to just squeeze in on the final day to catch them. So there was that. After that ride, we did, the last one, which was Evangelion versus Godzilla. So,
really,
yeah, you must have heard about it.
I did not hear about it until just now.
They were popping it. They were pushing it online for a little bit with like a bunch of like crossover art, and then there was that remember that Mechagodzilla design that was Ava 1 colored? Did you not see that?
Okay, that's what that was about.
Yeah, so that was a promotional thing to go with this USJ ride, because after Shin Godzilla was directed by Anno, why not just take that to the natural conclusion and create a short film about it, and while you're creating that short film, let's turn it into a ride. So
why the fuck not?
Yeah, so the popcorn bucket they had was the purple Ava Mechagodzilla head, and that thing was limited, and it was pretty cool looking. But the actual trip itself is super interesting, because it's like, okay, you're in a fictional setting, you're in Osaka 3, right? A future city.
Of course.
And you're seeing like Osaka landmarks and whatnot. And suddenly, what the fuck is this? An unknown angel attacks, right? And its power is immeasurable. It's flying off the charts, and Misato is super lost and confused by it. But here it comes. Aw, shit, it's Godzilla. What do? Send out the kids. Do your best, you know? And you get to see like when Godzilla shows up, thank fucking God, it's Shin Godzilla. So it's
you mean a Godzilla that can actually be defeated by humans?
It's the one that Anno created as basically an angel in its own way, since the soundtrack of that movie is straight up just Evangelion anyway. And the CG in this ride is like by far the most expensive and the best looking. Like
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. These properties put fucking money to it. Toho bankrolled this shit. So, Asuka, Rei, and Shinji are like flipping off of each other, doing triple techs. You know what I mean? Like basically like they're fighting like Ninja Turtles fight, where they kind of roll over each other's backs and do successive moves. It was cool to see that, and your seats are jumping and bending and flickering around as you get swung, and then Shinji has to pick you up in his hands and fight for a bit and stuff. So that's all fun. And then Godzilla's kind of just like, whatever, get the fuck away from me. He's just kind of ignoring them because he's looking somewhere else. And then, of course, like, while they can't hurt Godzilla because Godzilla doesn't give a fuck, here comes Ghidorah, the real problem, And then they were like, oh no, was Godzilla actually just ignoring us because Ghidorah was coming? Is he the real enemy? So you get to see that.
And they just all punched that fucking dragon in his taint
and that
for 10 minutes.
Yeah. And then you get some cool combo attacks and fun stuff goes down. So Shinji fucking runs off the tail and does a cool fucking stab, and it's cool. It's legit fun, and like the whole time you're being carried around in a giant sort of helicopter piloted by Kaji, So
of course,
yeah.
That's how. Oh, okay.
And there's some moments of how do I put this? In the line when you're waiting, they're doing a briefing for the whole world and stuff. And then right before you go
You fucking asshole. You just called a line like a real life loading screen?
Because there's images scrolling.
You're fucked.
There's images
You're
scrolling.
You're fucking warped.
And you feel like you're in a fucking loading screen. And then when the loading screen finishes and the attendants come out and they go, all right, everyone, please get ready to go inside. Suddenly, the pleasant Osaka 3 shit shuts down and stops. And then the fucking conflict music starts to kick in. And then all the lights go dark and the red glow and the Ava, like you're in a collapsing Sele base feeling starts going down, and you're like, this is actually kind of terrifying. Like, being surrounded on all sides by nothing but that warm glow, and then you're just like, the feeling of being in that elevator starts to kind of happen. It's good. It's a good ride.
Nice.
Yeah, so USJ will always be worth it just so that you can catch some shit that will never make it to America, ever. And
put that on your mental bet docket, everyone. There will never be a Harry Potter ride in North America.
Ever.
Not a one.
I will say, though, that if they took that Harry Potter tech and combined it with Attack on Titan to make 3D maneuver gear, it would be the greatest ride of all time.
Come on, the money difference.
I know.
Astonishing.
Harry Potter single-handedly saved USJ, is what I was told.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But full credit to Punch Mom for that idea. Where it's just imagine putting 3D maneuver gear on this type of seat that just moves around. It'd be unbelievable. Of course, we also got to do Jaws, which was a really fun one, actually.
Jaws is... I loved it.
Yeah. Surprisingly incredible for a little short, quick ride, Did you get, I don't know, what kind of skipper did you get?
What do you mean, skipper?
The boat captain.
Christ, I don't even remember.
Because we got this spunky little girl that was kind of just yeah, let's do it, everybody. I'm going to show you the way through the beach.
That is what I received. Now I remember.
Yeah, and then it's
hyper animated.
Pay no attention to that thing over there. There's a little bit of rocky water, but haha, okay. Nervous laughter, and then she gets out the shotgun and die, taking shots at it and stuff. And then at the end, kind of being everybody, don't worry about what you saw there. Anyway, it was fun. And apparently, from what I understand, it's one of those things where they have they actually have a water world section still running to this day.
Oh yeah, I took footage of it.
Okay,
if you remember.
But now Waterworld, it's like it's still there, but they dropped one piece on top of it.
That makes perfect sense.
Because what the
that is like so.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? Push a Kevin Costner vehicle to Japan in 2019?
Hey,
or just put a fucking Luffy hat there?
The ocean.
Yeah.
AKA water.
Shoutouts to the in California. Apparently, there being a really elaborate Waterworld ride that was going on during the drought. Where every single show they would just dump tons and gallons upon gallons of oceans of water to fucking do Waterworld, and there's a drought going on. But anyway, they have that, and we didn't make it to it, but it sounded like there was a legit backdraft ride as well.
I remember that.
I'm sad because
I don't think I got on it, but I remember there being a backdraft ride.
It was 15 minutes. It was the shortest line, and the power vehicle that is backdraft, aka the sentient fire that chases the firemen around that try to out it and haunts the heroes to this day and slips into the fireman's locker and targets him to kill him. Backdraft. We didn't get to go on it, but I was so hyped to see
what. That is stupid as shit. I forgot what backdraft even is.
Fuck yeah, man. The fire knows. I wanted to see Japanese backdraft more than anything, but we didn't have time for it. We had to squeeze our way through the fucking minions at every left and right corner, so, you know, that's how it do.
I actually rode that ride in both of its incarnations. The Minions ride, I shit you not. It's just the fucking old Back to the Future ride, jury-rigged into a different fucking setup.
Yeah. So Attack on Titan had that where you're walking through the line, and it's like, pay no attention to the fucking Cyberdyne logos on the walls as you walk by. Pay no attention to the fact that these newspaper people that are reporting on you from the Trost district have these glowing lights on the wall behind them that may or may not be servers from the fucking Skynet ride when they had Terminator there not but a couple months earlier, you know? Like, the ability to just, like, strip down 90% of it and plaster Attack on Titan there, but still have these little bits and pieces peeking through is kind of weird. But yeah, it was immersion ruining.
I said, don't worry about it, goddammit.
All right, well, anyway, USJ, good old time. Bunny Island, good time so far. We'll see how it goes tomorrow morning with the actual bunnies and the feeding and the treats, you know. And, yeah, Japan's coming together. It's coming together. You do anything?
Yeah, actually. I didn't. You ever have people recommend you something and you're like, nah, no. And then for whatever reason you just cave on it. And you're like, fine, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that relationship with a game called, blanking right now, Remnant. Have you seen this at all?
No, but I feel like that name rings a bell.
So pull up something on your phone because it'll make it look more obvious. So it's made by Gunfire Games, who I am led to believe is ex-Darksider developers.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Dark Souls with guns.
Oh, Jesus, this looks like Dark Souls. Okay. Mm-hmm. Is this new? Because there's a lot of new footage about it.
This came out on the 22nd, so yeah, it's a week old at tops. And I was initially dismissive because, it's Dark Souls with guns.
Yeah, and cars. Well,
and there's no cars.
Well, there's abandoned cars.
Yeah, and now that kind of makes sense because the Darksiders devs seem to be like totally obsessed with like blown out post-apocalyptic but magic cityscape.
Okay. Resident Evil 4 camera in certain moments too.
Yeah, but it's like it's really weird how it actually feels just like a Souls game, and that is I'm going to put that down entirely to its role. It's the same role. You can even fat roll if your armor is too heavy.
Is gunplay the main thing, or is there melee at
yes.
all? Okay.
There is melee, and the way that it works is very simple and very appreciated, and it's just like hit right trigger to swing your whatever, aim down sights to shoot your gun. Same button. And there aren't that many weapons in the game. I think there's like 20-something. But they all fulfill your classic archetype. So there's the shotgun, the coach gun, the submachine gun, the pistol, the bigger pistol, the magnum, etc. But thank God they're all good versions of them. Like, because every single one I picked up is like, oh, it's that repeater pistol that has like the Mauser look, like the Red 9 look. And if it was a bad one, just fuck, right? But no, they all feel pretty good. The game feels pretty good. You are constantly rolling through garbage, and pretty much every wooden item in the game can be broken to fucking shit. With the difference being that they all contain items. Constantly.
Are you picking up like a bunch of guns with different stats?
Nope.
Okay.
You're picking up the submachine gun.
Okay.
You're picking up the shotgun.
And is there any like asymmetrical multiplayer?
There is multiplayer, but it is, hey, do you want to join your friends in multiplayer?
Oh, okay.
or would you like to join a random game in multiplayer?
Okay.
And that's where the game's second gimmick comes in. So the first gimmick is that it's a Dark Souls in the post-apocalypse with guns, and you're fighting horrible tree monsters because people were doing stupid parallel dimension crap, and as that always goes, stuff came back on through. But the second part of it is that the game is pseudo-procedural. So imagine Diablo. Like, it's not a roguelike in which every time you play, you die constantly, and every time you play, there's a different layout. It's you spawn into your game, and your game got seeded with a layout. And
that'll be your save from now on. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a weird option right when you get to the first bonfire that is re-roll your world if you want a different seed.
In case that first level was bullshit?
No, in case that first level doesn't contain things that you wanted to see. Because one of the complaints / good things about the game that I've been seeing, people can't seem to... there's no consensus on it, is that you only see about half of the game's bosses in your entire trip through the game. You only see about half the game's NPCs.
Wow.
Because
that procedural.
I was playing it on stream, and I ended up fighting this old man in a helicopter, and people were like, "Oh, holy shit! I never saw this guy," that kind of thing. Meanwhile, the boss that I got on my first boss was bullshit. Just this human-sized, fucking bullshit machine that would teleport away and constantly shoot at me.
And do you know how long that entire trip would be?
15 to 20. And you rerun it with in multiplayer, or you... there's the increasing difficulty mode style kind of thing, like a Diablo. It has a lot of very specifically Diablo influence in it as well. It's weird. It's both weird and really familiar because all of the different disparate pieces are all things that you're very familiar with. It is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Mainly because the controls and the overall feel and look of the game are so solid.
Are you joining your friend's seed, or are you creating a new multiplayer?
You are joining your friend's seed.
Okay.
To my knowledge. The other weird thing, like I've been playing it entirely solo because I don't want to deal with any of that shit, particularly if I'm streaming it. Is the way you level up in that game is so fucking weird. Like, you know, you gain experience and you level up, but like you, instead of like stats, they're called traits, and they're stuff like, you know, like what you would have in a skill tree. It's like, hey, do you gain more experience, or do you gain more money, or do you have a higher health or endurance or any of that? And then there's like 30 other ones that all do weird bullshit. It's a really solid $40 game, and like you feel that it is a $40 game, but it's a good one.
Is it on anything else?
It is on the PC. It's an actual Steam game, like a normal video game, and I believe there is also the console versions.
Are you playing it mouse and keyboard?
No, I'm playing it on controller, and the auto-aim is extreme. It's actually fairly appreciated considering what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
But when you come out of a roll and you're holding down on like left trigger, like your gun just snaps to an enemy's head instantly.
Any PvP?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing...
The only thing that I want to say about it that's... Oh, sorry, after you.
No, I was going to say, I'm seeing, like, from the trailer, them peeping here and stuff, there's, like, bosses that are, like, lunging at you in... It's almost like a Souls boss that is dealing with someone holding a gun, where it's a jumping lunge attack from, like, super far across the screen, like a Sith tackle type of thing. Because...
Yeah, the tougher enemies just come in two flavors, and those flavors are really big, and you cannot stop their lunge attacks, period. Like, there's no stagger on them at all. It's like, you better roll through it. Like, in particular, one, like, of the bigger generic sword enemies comes at you with a charge that's very much like Pursuer's dash attack.
Right, yeah. No, I'm seeing
Sorry, after you.
No, just I'm seeing a bunch of melee enemies, so I imagine since you have a gun, they must be bullshit in their ability to close the distance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Depending on how it goes, you can usually pop most of them before they come out. A lot of it depends. A lot of that game's like success in its feel. I feel depends on the fact that it has a really good roll. Like, it feels really good. It has a bunch of invincibility. The only massive downside that I would like to point out, and it should be pointed out, is that the bosses are fucking terrible. They are terrible. Because you have guns, every single boss in the game floods you with ads.
Okay.
Every single one.
So
and
just
I believe
hordes.
that's two reasons.
Yeah, okay.
One is that if because it's a gunplay based game and there's no melee, and you're not using stamina to attack, right? There is a stamina system for your rolls, but you know, that's it. I've probably most of the boss ideas they would have come up with would have been like laughably easy. And the second thing is you need to have enough ammo to kill the boss. And if there were no ads, the ammo restrictions that you go in with, you would absolutely never have enough ammunition to kill the boss. So you need to kill the ads to get your ammo back.
Right, okay.
You're just constantly, 100% of the time, flooded with ads.
That's the least fun way to do that. That sucks.
Yeah. And as a result, like the core gameplay loop of just dungeon crawling is way more satisfying than actually fighting any of the bosses.
Are there classes?
Kind of. There are starting classes like you would expect, but the only real thing that changes is the mod that they start the game with. there's a modding system, which is essentially just you shoot a bunch of guys and then use the mod to give your bullets fire or whatever. And the one that you start with is going to be different depending on what class you start and the gear you start with. But almost immediately, all the starter gear becomes just buyable at the shop.
Okay, so you're not seeing super different builds.
No. There are builds. Like, I got a weird insanity mask that heals me very slowly, but it seems pretty muted, all things considered. That part of, like, a Diablo game is absolutely not present.
I mean, I guess, like, if the stages are random rolling, then there's variety in the level as opposed to the characters, but, yeah, okay.
But, yeah, it's a lot better than I thought it was. I'm going to keep enjoying it. It's actually a sequel to an Oculus Rift launch game.
What the fuck?
That, like, if you if you have access to your PC right now to, like, go look at that shit,
yeah,
you can take a look at, it's called Kronos VR. Kronos VR or whatever. It's got, like, the same exact bonfires. It's got the same, like, primary location as the beginning of the game. And all I can think of is that no one played that game because it was an Oculus Rift launch title. And as a result, they're like, well, shit. Might as well just use that shit again.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm seeing a sword and board, like, fixed camera Oculus Rift game. So, I don't know if the game if this, I mean, I guess this is...
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay.
That is its direct prequel. And there's a weird statement of, like, it's not a prequel. It does take place before Remnant, and it is in the same world, but it's not a prequel, which seems like a desperate attempt to get away from, like, the sequel problem.
I will say that when I did play VR, like, games where you are, like, you are the camera in this third person adventure and the camera's fixed are interesting because it feels like you're playing with your toys. You know? It's a really weird, like, yeah, like, I got my action figure running through the stage, like, in a sandbox kind of, like, actual sandbox kind of feeling. So that was cool, but, okay. Random as fuck. Sure.
Yeah, it's just this nice little game that I ended up being, like, because, like, I played Surge, and I played Lords of the Fallen, and Code Vein looks like shit. And, like, it's weird because nobody has stepped up to make the good Dark Souls clone.
In 3D.
Yes, in 3D. A ton of 2D ones have actually happened. But at the very least, like, this one is probably the best one out of all of them, despite the fact that it uses fucking guns as its primary gameplay mechanic.
Okay.
Well, that's it for me, really. I mean, I've been chunking away at my usual grindy video games, but I'm probably going to restart Three Houses, because I haven't played that game in weeks, and so I'll probably go back to it at a certain point. And, like, that game, man, if you skip dialogue and know what you're doing, you can fucking fly through that game. It reminds me of when did you ever do a replay of Persona 4?
No, but I watched Steph playing it.
Okay, well, the reason I asked on the replay, or you ever, like, really fucking screw up in P5 and be like, okay, I have to
yeah. Just
astonishing how fast you can go when you get rid of all of your anime dialogue.
You're reading and listening. Like, I mean, it's an RPG, right? But it's like, yeah, it is. It's shocking how little action is happening. You know, it's really just like, yeah, conversations and occasional gestures and whatnot. And then, like, in some moments, you're just smashing through it, and the music barely has time to start up before it's back to loading again. Yeah.
All I can think of is that, like, over and over and over, I'm like, I think tons of people just want a really, really, like, fleshed out, deep dating game. Like, think of the amount of times, like, think about Mass Effect and Persona and now Fire Emblem. It's like, it's the primary focus of conversation for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, I mean, fucking killing monsters and saving the world is... Every game does that, right? But, like, going on a date with one of the characters on your team, oh my goodness, right? Getting close and intimate and possibly getting rewarded with a scene. Whoa. You know, it's a fucking... It's a surefire, like cash point. Like, you gotta do it. And a game like Fire Emblem, where they kind of have had... It's been a character-driven game for that long anyway. It's just a natural evolution.
You see, I still think back to them being like, we have no idea why it's popular in the West all of a sudden. It's like, it became really popular in the West when you started focusing on the dating stuff. It's the dating stuff.
Also,
that's why.
You also shoved a bunch of them in Smash Brothers. I mean, the fuck are people going to do? Like, ignore that? You know? Like,
yeah. Like, it got to the point, it's like, who the fuck are Marth and Roy? And at that point, like, you actually couldn't know unless you played, like, Japanese-only games, right?
Mm.
And then Ike, and then Robin, and then the other one.
Yeah.
The other one.
Ellie Wood.
The one, fucking Corrin?
Corrin, yes.
The one that talks.
Then
fuck, I don't like Corrin. And I don't like the Corrin talks.
He doesn't fight for his friends.
Corrin needs... I played just enough of, like, Fates to be like, shut up, Corrin, in my mind forever.
Well...
didn't care for it.
I mean,
that's pretty much it for me.
If you do decide to restart, you can pick the best house and play the correct way. So, you know.
Yeah, Black Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
Black Eagles is so obviously the best house, it even has 2 separate routes. Unlike all of the other ones.
And that's the last Fire Emblem Three Houses opinion you're going to hear out of Woolie.
Oh, what? Why? I heard you had a lot of fun with it.
I did, actually.
And Claude.
I did. I had fun. I did have fun with it. That is true. Like, at the end
How is Claude?
Claude is the best.
And the Goldine doors, or whatever they're called.
I at the end of that video, I walked away. At the end of that video series, I walked away saying, like, I legitimately enjoyed what I played there. That was fun. But whether or not that was enjoyable to watch, however, is a different question. So
I'm gonna both bust your balls and then unbust your balls for about 10 seconds.
Bust them up.
All right, 1. You gotta get your head out of your ass with this French pronunciation of names that totally exist in English.
I didn't think about it twice. I just said the word that has existed in my world forever. I didn't like this is the. I made no
second one, and
I made no attempt to think about it. I just said the thing that exists because I know a dude named Claude. Like it's the world I live in, and I know the game said it, and of course I wasn't paying attention, so that's 100% my stupidity.
And the second one is that I totally restarted that game like 3 times because it's so mechanically intense that I would get like 2 hours in and be like, oh my god, I didn't even know about that fucking mechanic because fuck. And some of the reason that I was able to pick up on a lot of them faster is because I had Twitter open the whole time just going, what's up with this? And got to go through you're an idiot, Pat, just do this.
Okay.
Like via social media instead of via performative video dance.
I see. I did explain to some that like my obsession with like thinking there was a weapon triangle, even though it was not in the tutorial at all.
Oh, that's from fucking what's it called?
Tokyo Mirage Sessions,
right?
It's PTSD. I came at so hard about not using that and ignoring it and not understanding it that I was just so scared to not have that, to let that happen again. So the first thing I did right off the bat was just go, okay, I'm not going to make that mistake. And it turned out it was the worst possible trap I could have set for myself. So
joke's on you. They knew that. They had actually watched that thing, and then they were like, we will mock Woolie with removing it as a joke.
Fire Emblem. Yay.
It's kind of weird because like with this removal of the weapon triangle and its replacement with just the skills system, you just get skills that acts like the weapon triangle's probably fucking gone now.
Forever, you think?
It works fine. It works great.
I mean, what I did read people saying that the triangle exists in the form of people with those weapons get abilities that defeat their rock, paper, scissors counterparts.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't have gotten far enough. So, yeah, basically you get to the point where, like, so if you have, like, a C in swords or lances or whatever, you'll get a skill that is, like, axes get a skill that is specifically for people in heavy armor. And then swords get abilities for, like, flyers and monsters. And so on and so forth. So it becomes functionally identical,
but it's implemented in a different way.
It takes away that feeling of like, well, I'm not even going to bother attacking this enemy with the main character because they have a sword on right now.
Right. Like, Blastoise learns a Charizard fucking ability as opposed to just being naturally that. Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Oh, that a wondrous day. I was told to make sure to turn my Discord off, but Woolie's phone is totally audible through the audio.
Yeah, sorry about that. Not my phone necessarily. Not my phone necessarily.
I win. It's all your phone, Woolie.
I don't have default Ring notifications on my phone. I have funner.
Of course not.
I have funner noises.
Of course you don't. Even your phone must be hipstered to the max.
I love flexing my JoJo / knighthood. You leave it be.
Such an asshole. All right, let's get into some news.
Let's do it.
Or do
the first order of news. I
literally just couldn't understand what I was even saying. Fuck me. God damn it. All right, what do we got? Sorry.
The first order of news. Well, actually, if you like train wrecks, you can, and if you enjoy fucking just people trying to have fun, but actually just making assumptions about things that are, I don't know. I have no excuses. What can I say? I thought I was just gonna have fun with these characters as they popped up, and then I just ended up annoying everybody. So, but you can experience all the pain and more over on Woolie Versus, where I play Fire Emblem, but play is a loose term, so.
Oh, that's true. And if you want to see more of that Remnant game and other grindy bullshit, but also F7 and fucking what's coming out? Astral Chain this week.
Yeah.
Go down to twitch.tv/angriestpet, usually around 8 p.m. in the evening on the East Coast.
Yeah. Sorry about that one, folks. Anyway, let's take a quick word from our sponsors.
Let's do that.
All right. So this week, wow, hey ho. This week, the podcast is sponsored by DoorDash. If you've got
DoorDash, what's up?
Well, I'll tell you what's up. They're at your door. Ding dong, food. That's
I can
right.
Go for some food right now.
Yep, just like that. Delicious, straight to your door as you deserve it. Long day at work, tough day at school, stuck at the office, LPing, playing on Twitch. Can't move from your couch because
can't get up.
Just too busy reading those donations. What are you going to do? You know, I mean, what? You can't take those sweatpants off. You've been enjoying them the whole time. right? But quite frankly, what?
I feel attacked.
You're out of microwave pizza. And you're looking over at your cat food bowl like, I can survive. I could survive if I needed to. No one would know. It's off camera. Well,
everyone would know.
Enter DoorDash. Restaurant quality food with a living room dress code. You can stay in your sweatpants. It's really simple. They've got all your favorite restaurants. Open up the DoorDash app. What you want to eat will be delivered right to you wherever you are. Your favorite pizza joints already on DoorDash. They've got over 340,000 restaurants in 3,300 cities. So guess what? Chances are your favorites are there too.
Are there even that many cities?
There are not only that many cities. They deliver door to door in all 50 states and Canada. So, why not hit them up? They've got Chick-fil-A, they got Wendy's, they got Chipotle, they got the Cheesecake Factory. Let dinner come to you with DoorDash. Right now, our listeners can get $5 off their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter promo code CASTLE. That's $5 off your first order when you download the DoorDash app from the App Store and enter promo code CASTLE. Don't forget promo code CASTLE for $5 off your first order from DoorDash. Thanks, DoorDash.
Thank you, DoorDash.
The podcast is also sponsored by Bombas. How often you think about your socks? Guess what? With the heat sweltering here over in Japan, I'm thinking a lot about socks.
Really?
Yeah, because your feet and your toesies deserve some comfort, and if you're not wearing the right stuff when the heat comes to get you, it gets really bad. It gets pretty bad down there. Not gonna lie. If you're getting some kind of, those garbage ones where after a day of sweating in them, you pull them off and like the ankle has a hole in it just from like the friction of rubbing against the bottom of your shoe.
For me, it's always the heel.
It's garbage.
It's always the heel.
You got them hobo socks rocking and they're just terrible. You don't need that. We got something better. Bombas, it's the most comfortable socks in the history of feet. Super soft natural cotton. Every pair comes with arch support, a seamless toe, cushioned footbed, comfy but not too thick. Many colors, many colors, patterns, lengths, styles, all of it. Bombas looks great at the gym, at the office, about town. It's what your feet daydream about. And for every Bombas purchase you make, they donate a pair to someone in need. Why put up with the nonsense garbage on your feet and suffer? We've got that new tech for you. It's called Bombas. Buy your Bombas.
I think probably. Oh, sorry.
No, say what you're going to say.
I think the wildest moment in my entire adult life in which I discovered I was actually a for real adult was the moment that my grandma gave me a shit ton of socks. And I went from the usual year of, oh man, it's not an Xbox or fucking whatever or a toy, and went, oh, sick. I totally needed a ton of socks.
Yes, I had the exact same. When my girl's mom got me some socks as well, and I was really happy to get them because I needed them, and then went through them like toilet paper because they're like, if you don't have a good quality pair of socks, then they end up being that disposable. But for a good quality pair, you want to hit up bombas.com/superbeast today and get 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/superbeast for 20% off. Bombas.com/superbeast. Thanks, Bombas.
Thank you, Bombas.
Last but certainly not least, we got the good old friends down at Casper.
Hey, Casper, what's up, man?
The sleep brand. They're back, and of course, I'm going to represent Casper because, god damn it, those mattresses are good. I am still ever lovingly using that Casper mattress. And you know what? I'm gonna be real right now. I am halfway around the world. I am in Japan. I am sleeping on futons on the floor, and I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it, but it is not like sinking into a Casper mattress. So that soft bed at home is waiting for me, and I am waiting for it. And soon we will be reunited because I love that bed. Straight up. Real talk. They're the Casper products. They're cleverly designed to mimic your human curves, and boy, have I got some of those. Supporting all kinds of bodies. You spend a third of your life sleeping. Be comfortable. Why waste it? They got the original mattress. They got supportive memory foam, breathable design, sleep cool, regulate your body temperature. Over 20,000 reviews with an average of 4.8 stars across the internet. Casper, Amazon, Google, everywhere. Casper is basically the internet's favorite mattress, and it's my favorite mattress, so you can check them out. They've got 3 other mattresses, the Wave, the Essential, and the Hybrid. All affordable prices because they cut out the middleman and they sell it directly to you. And of course, I've talked about the fact that they ship you a mattress in a box. It's kind of insane. It makes no sense. It shows up at your door and then you open it and then it's like, there was a mattress in there.
But how?
Wizardry, Harry. Wizardry. Free shipping and returns to the US and Canada. You can be sure of your purchase with Casper's 100-night risk-free sleep-on-it trial. Like, that is a lot of time to make up your mind. I'm a pretty decisive person, but even if you're indecisive, I would say that's like 2 weeks, maybe 3. This is 100 nights to try it out. So
it's more than 3 months.
It's beyond bonkers at that point. But by all means, find out for yourself. You can get $100 towards select mattresses by visiting casper.com/super and using super at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Again, that's $100 towards select mattresses by visiting casper.com/super and using super at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Thank you, Casper.
Thanks, Casper.
All right, so stuff went down, and I think it
News occurred this week.
News did occur, and I think we can cut right to the core of what the spirit of this week has been about. Hey, you know what people care about?
What's that?
Fucking Spider-Man.
Ah.
You know what Marvel cares about? Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And getting 50% of, what they're working on, I suppose.
I do like, not to get all topical and shit, but I feel it's appropriate. I do like how the public's love of Spider-Man contrasted with the recent public event of burning down of the whole planet has really shown how fucked society is.
I mean, we had version 1 of this earlier when it was like Disney acquires everything. Planet Earth now owned by Disney. And everyone's like, God damn it, that sucks, but yay, holy shit. Maybe this means my movie buddies can get back together and we can do all the crossovers now. Yeah. Okay. Yay. Sell my soul for a crossover. Yeah. Imagine if, like, every time there was, like, a Marvel vs. Capcom acquired the brand of the crossover. The winner.
See, that would be sick for a time, and then it would be the worst thing that could have ever happened to anything.
The winner of these fighting games acquires the properties. What, you thought it was just a fucking battle? You thought it was just a game? You didn't realize that Tatsunoko lost that fight.
Oh,
now,
I like that.
Now Friender belongs to Capcom. Yeah, man. So basically, Sony and Marvel, and it seems like specifically Kevin Feige, could not agree on the financial terms of Spider-Man's continued existence within the MCU.
You there, Wolves?
Yep, I'm there. Can you hear me? I'm totally there. Oh.
Hello?
Hello, I'm there.
Yeah, I totally lost you there for a good 10 seconds.
Okay. All right, well, we're back. So, what I was saying is, it seems like, as far as secure futures go, Tom Holland is someone that everybody likes on both sides of the aisle. He's not lost in the custody battle. But Sony basically seems to be like, yeah, Kevin Feige's too busy to work on our stuff. And, you know, we understand because Marvel has him super busy working on other IPs. So why would he have time to work on IPs that they do not own? That statement was so like, remember, Spider-Man does not belong to Marvel. It's really
somehow
really cut into it. I felt a little bit like Guitar Hero taking shots at Rock Band.
Yeah, nonsensically,
right? when what's his name? Fucking Activision dude.
Bobby Kotick
was taking his shots going, yeah, some other imitators are trying to encroach on the real brand Guitar Hero. Yeah,
there's a like a weird tertiary thing that follows right after that, where it is like a factor of a dystopian nightmare that we are like I'm seeing more and more of. Did you watch Bethesda's E3 conference this year?
No.
So there was a point that, like, it was this doublespeak 1984 nonsense history rewriting, where they showed like a trailer for Doom, but beforehand they got out this guy, and it was like, you know, we here at Bethesda invented the first-person shooter genre with games such as Doom and Wolfenstein back in the 90s, and you're like, just because you bought id Software does not mean you retroactively did that.
Dude.
Disney just did that with Jack Kirby. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
In the fucking, like, press junket for Eternals, they're like, coming from Disney legend Jack Kirby's mind, Eternals is a story about immortals, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Jack Kirby was dead for decades before Disney started to get into this.
But acquisitions, though.
Disney buys Marvel, buys it's like, oh, fuck it.
We have acquired his corpse, and thus he is now a Disney legend. Retroactively. Oh my god.
Fucking warped.
I mean, God, like, in a world where fucking Hasbro owns Death Row Records, who's to say what's real?
That's good, I like that.
Alright, Hasbro bought Entertainment One. Entertainment One owned Death Row. Suge Knight, Death Row, Pac.
Can we get some really, really, really good Transformers remixes out of this?
I mean, fuck, you know? And it seems like they don't even know that they have it. That's kind of the nuts part. Snoop Dogg catalogs all under the same fucking brand. Get some Care Bears in there. Do what you want. But yes, acquisitions mean you can claim this was always what was going down. This was always under your umbrella, you know? It's part of why you acquire things. Remember, George Lucas's Star Wars is just another brilliant product of Disney.
I remember when Disney invented Star Wars.
The kids will.
The kids won't remember anything.
The kids will 100% just be like, oh yeah, that thing that goes alongside The Lion King and Mickey Mouse. Totally. Anyway, this is a fucking weird one because to Sony's credit, if they said this at any other time in history, it would have been a complete, like, fucking farce of a statement. But they do have Spider-Verse under their belt, right? They did.
Well, also, The deal that Marvel apparently offered them was like completely absurd.
Yeah, well, hold on. They were going for 50-50, but apparently what they had was all merch and 5% of opening day or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So the difference between the two is a gulf of like unfairness in one way or the other, you know?
Now you can argue that like Sony doesn't deserve to have owned that IP in the first place, and I don't even care to have that argument because it's stupid. But like going from 95% of gross profit on a fucking movie franchise to 50%. Yeah, why would you have taken that deal?
Yeah, and the
just sucks ass.
Well, the argument is that like you never would have had such a successful Spider-Man franchise on your hands if we didn't fucking do it. Because you tried.
That argument is totally valid.
You tried twice before and you fucking sucked at it.
I am really, really excited to see them continue from Far From Home in the alternate universe where they're not allowed to talk about the characters that Peter hung out with for the past couple of years.
And all the graffiti of Tony fucking Stark on the walls everywhere has been scrubbed
It was all
clean.
washed off.
Scrubbed.
Hey, Peter, where'd you get your suit? I made this one at home.
Time for a new me.
Aunt May, what happened to your boyfriend whose name we're no longer allowed to say?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck off, dude. Holy shit.
There's so much.
And
like the Tony one is really like clear, but there's like way more on top of that. That's just like, oh man.
But now he gets to hang out with new Venom though.
The Venom that predates Spider-Man's existence?
Halfway across the country on the other coast.
Yay.
Not halfway, 100% across the country on the other coast. It's gonna be fucking weird. And Tom Holland is doing his best, and he's just like, I'm excited for all things, yay. I still have a job. But wow, is this a messy one, and people are fucking mad, dude.
For all you MCU stans, there is a very good outcome to this, and that is you no longer have to worry about Tom Holland ruining the twist to the latest movie, because he won't be in it.
I remember, dude, I was like, so anyway, I remember when I said like, oh, this whole Phase 4 thing is a half phase because it's all about TV, and then they're going to make it the real Phase 5 now that everything's back, and it's like same den. Fuck that up.
Oops.
That ain't going down at all. So
I really feel like, and this is going to have some very minor spoilers for Spider-Man, the Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like they knew that this deal could have gone bad because the way that movie ends is you could just fucking kill that movie franchise right there and be like, and then we never heard from Peter again. Because that's totally going to be what it is. You know that, right? It's literally going to be like, what happened to him in universe? He quit.
How do they acknowledge it on the MCU side? What do? You can't. You can't do that, because then if it ever corrects itself down the line, you have to find some way to fix it.
All you do is be like, oh, Spurs, and then everyone forgets.
You have some unknown evil force take him away and kidnapped him from our dimension. He's in an alternate timeline now.
They can't do any of that shit at all. Like,
they'll just say like, "What about the web slinger? Can't you call him?" And it'll be like, "Nah, he's somewhere else now." Like, some throwaway line.
No, you can't do that. You can't do any of that shit. All you can do is, what about that guy you used to hang out with? Oh, he died.
I didn't know this, right? But like, because don't forget that those embarrassing emails from like not too long ago when it all came out. But
that everyone at Sony's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, there's that. Apparently they counted it out, and Sony realized that the Spider-Man franchise and all of its orbiting properties consists of 800 characters. So you want to talk about finding the maximum teat of the cow for succulent milking. They've pulled 800 characters out of Spider-Man.
That's what you're going to do with this? I don't like that.
Well, I never would have imagined, right? I would have, if I were to count up all of Spider-Man, all of his clones, all of the alternate versions and his bad guys, I never would have imagined that many. But then again, it's been a long, how many years? So
I mean, there's like, what, 70 years of comics or whatever the fuck?
I suppose so. Well...
And it's the rules like everyone who ever showed up in a Spider-Man comic first, regardless of their later success as a solo character or
counts here. Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh boy. Well, anyway. God bless. Like, is there even a way to create a fucking replacement of some kind, or do you just go back to nothing? I guess you do.
Yeah. The contract says.
Well, in the meantime, you want to talk about, like, hot calls? The literal exact thing I said from a couple weeks ago. Straight from my mouth to God's ears. How about that? Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and She-Hulk coming to Disney Plus. They're getting a TV show. Yeah, like, I don't want the TV show thing, but ultimately it's cool to hear that they're doing these characters. I wish they were movies instead. I
can't believe there's going to be a fucking Moon Knight TV show.
Yeah. Actually, no, wait, She-Hulk needs to be a TV show. It's too perfect for it. She's a fucking...
It needs to be Ally McBeal with side stories about punching things.
Million percent. And I think they know that. The one thing I did say that didn't come true was Nova, but we'll see what Guardians 3 turns into,
Nova's dead, man.
Yeah, they might undo it. There's always Richard Rider, so...
Ugh, comic books.
Then there's, whatchamacallit, Kamala Khan.
I was actually going to say there was a different thing that you were dead on about that I will get there first because fuck you, I hate you. Did you see the goddamn Saitama gameplay from One Punch Man?
Yo, fuck everybody. I am holding that W loud and proud above my head. The amount of people that were just writing on your shit that you said, because it was one of those things where I feel like I said something pretty reasonable and you just went against it, and because you went against so hard, everyone just joined in and was like, yeah, Woolie, you're fucking crazy. And I'm like, am I? Or is it the children who are wrong? And then God says, it's the fucking children, dude. Here's One Punch Man. It turns out that the main gimmick...
It's ridiculous to expect standards from those types of games.
It turns out the main gimmick of One Punch Man is, in fact, going to be implemented into the video game. Who would have thunk it? It would have been such an insane failure if they didn't do something like this. So what we have is One Punch Man now, gameplay. What it is Saitama is making his way to the fight, but he's late. And you can see him trying to race to the scene as you play as the other heroes trying to slow down the enemy. And if you do perfect parries and defend and fight well, Saitama hurries up and he gets there faster. And once he arrives, you take control of him and you do the fucking One Punch Man. It's the best. It's really cool. I love that idea. I'm so happy. So happy they're doing that.
Boo.
You would rather the game be worse so that you could be right?
Of course.
Fuck you.
Let's all remember what's actually important here. Smugness.
Shit. I'm gonna be smug.
Smugness rules everything.
It is, and I can be smug because we're getting not only my idea, but the good one. It sounds awesome. What a fun idea for One Punch Man, the game. Anyway, so yeah, that's coming out. What else got announced? There's a fucking... so the trailer for the MK11 Combat Pack dropped, and that roster showed up, and everyone was like, that's cool. Where's Ash? You know the chainsaw noise that you teased?
Yeah.
And
the character that's in everything lately?
It's so weird, and all the dancing and teasing that Bruce Campbell has done online. Anyway, so the Combat Pack is going to be Nightwolf, Spawn, who looks pretty cool, Terminator, tie-in with the movie, Sindel, Joker, probably tie-in with the movie in an alternate costume, and Shang Tsung. But Ash from fucking Evil Dead isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that they figure that out and then do an updated version of this, because that was the...
Oh, you don't even know. Oh, this is fun. I get to break the bad news to you.
This was the hypest...
They did figure out the Ash situation, Woolie.
I heard rumors.
Do you know what the solution to that was?
What's that?
It didn't work out, so that's why Joker's there.
God damn it. Fuck.
On the Xbox, on the Xbox store, I think it was, the banner that comes up, like, Combat Pass now available, contains all these characters. It says all the same characters, except instead of Joker, it says Ash.
So he was slapped in there as a last-minute replacement.
Because they still have the fucking Injustice rights and all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess so, man. God, what a disappointing replacement. You know, of all the horror... Because not to mention, it's the only time, too, that, like, a horror character has not shown up in the new MK, right? So, yeah, that's a huge bummer. Anyway, the rest seem... You know, I will see what Spawn's move list is like, I guess, but I've kind of gotten really sad about that, because I thought it was really cool to be like, you know, like I mentioned it before, but it's like, it's the horror movie character that is like the hero that fucking fights
is
the
the
evil,
cool monster,
as opposed to the monster. Yes, exactly. Yakuza 3
and 4 and 5, but right now just 3
coming to the West,
available on your PlayStation 4.
The thing that wasn't supposed to ever happen.
So, I didn't expect them to drop them as like a collection with like a staggered release schedule. That's probably the weirdest part about it.
I guess.
So Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 are as part of a bundle right now. And if you buy it, you get Yakuza 3 right now, and Yakuza 4 in a couple months, and 5 a couple months after that.
Is it just because it's taking that long to fucking get it all?
I believe that is the porting process, and that they want to be like, no, they're coming.
4 in October and 5 in February.
And with that, you will be able to play every Yakuza game in some fashion of the mainline series on your PlayStation 4.
There you go.
Which, dude, while I very much appreciate how, like, having them all there.
Yeah.
This creates the most confusing series to get into ever. Because where to start has a time jump thing going on that no other series has ever had. Because the story goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, that's it. Right?
Yeah.
But the release order for these actual games, right, goes 0, 1, 6. Sorry, no. In release order, it goes 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 6, 2.
Yeah, the answer to how do I get in is make friends with the right people. Like,
it's actually really confusing now.
I've had you and Min explain it to me on multiple occasions, and I still have to fucking go, okay, wait, stop, every time, and go, what about, and then, okay. So
just play Zero is the advice that community has fucking settled on, and then if you really loved Zero, we can figure it out from there.
Sure.
Or just play Judgment now, actually.
Yeah, the standalone. That's true. Okay, so we got that. Apparently, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger had a Switch port Kickstarter. I didn't hear about this at all. But Chrome Studios, God bless, I used to help them with some QA. They went for $150K for funding to bring Ty the Tasmanian Tiger to the Switch, and they succeeded. People care. People care, man.
Why? Stop.
Well, if it existed in the GameCube era, chances are there's at least 100 people that care about it. That's the hard, fast rule. Is that
because they were children?
I mean, that was, what, 2002?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
So there were children then?
I mean, if they were born in that year, they're 17 now. Anyway.
It's weird.
Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. But also, on Kickstarter, Shovel Knight Dungeon Duels board game got kickstarted. And
cool.
That's fun, because you get to check out these little fun miniatures of all the knights, and they look great. I can't wait to see them painted. If you check out the link here, you can see some of the miniatures they have. So, Shovel Knight continuing to crush it in all forms and to dominate. I wish Yacht Club all the success as they slowly tentacle their way into everything, everywhere. And we just accept it, because the quality is good.
So far, anyway, yeah. Have they had anything that sucked ass yet?
No. I want to say this popped up, but I feel like we already knew that a Metro 2033 movie was in the works. Am I crazy?
Hey, Woolie, can you do something about your gain? You are actually cutting out a lot on my end, and I'm having a lot of trouble understanding you over the past couple of minutes.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me see what I can do.
Like the cutoff point for your Discord seems set like too high.
Okay, I'll try physically dropping it. How's about that? Is that a little better?
That sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'll let you know.
So, it turns out that, I guess a Metro 2033 movie is in the works, but I thought we already knew that.
I did think we already knew that. Did we just assume that?
Maybe it was unofficial and now it's official. I'm not sure, but that popped up this week, and I was like, that rings a bell. Well, either way, I'm not going to dwell on it, because last big thing I want to get to, and this is kind of fucking crazy in how thorough this dropped, but a PS5 development kit design patent straight up just showed up online by a Codemasters artist. It was confirmed that what this was. We have a full-on picture of a dev kit, which usually looks pretty different from the final PlayStation.
They usually look like fridges.
Yeah, you know. And oftentimes there's like different. There's the dev kit, and then there's a test kit, which ends up looking a little different in some cases. So there's different devices, but the test kits end up looking a lot like the final machines in many cases. But whatever. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a design patent for an unknown device was discovered, and it was designed by a Sony engineer. So everyone basically looked at this weird, like, it looks like an Alienware, like, tower. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Here, I'm going to send you a picture of it.
Does it look like a stupid pile of shit?
It looks like an Alienware tower lying on its side with a chunk cut out of it. And
give me 2 seconds.
It's like... Yeah.
Take a look at this thing.
And then you can see the full rotation of it. If you click the link in the podcast notes, you can check this thing out. But,
wow, that looks like a stupid piece of shit. That looks terrible.
It really, like, all I can say is I feel like it's one of those, like, edgy new PCs for gamers. Rise up.
It feels like that was made by the same design team that made fucking Mad Catz designs for 1997 on controllers.
It's got ribs.
Like, just the ribs is what gets
It's got ribs, man. Yeah, xenomorph ribs. Well, anyway, yeah, so a Codemasters artist confirmed that, yes, this patent was, in fact, a PS5 dev kit. So...
Oh, really?
He just confirmed it.
That's weird, isn't it?
It is. Very unusual. But again, it's not the actual release console, so this is, if the article here reported on Gematsu shows you what a PS4 dev kit looks like, and it looks nothing like the actual PS4 release. So, yeah.
I'm so confused by Sony lately because everything about PS5 is like, remember when they used to like shroud that shit in double, triple secrecy and all that shit, and now like Cerny's talking about like, yeah, we're thinking about putting an SSD in here. Here's a load time demonstration.
It's a new
of this console that doesn't exist. Shut up.
Yeah, they might be trying something new, or it might just be in response to the way Microsoft has been weirdly open to. It's almost like Microsoft talking about Scarlet as much as it has, as well as kind of like a weird testing the waters, seeing what people think and feel. It's like, hey, are you guys ready for a new generation? I don't know. I'm just thinking about it, but I don't know. You tell me. You want to go?
You chatting over here.
You don't want to go out with me, do you? You want to go out? I mean, hey, we don't. Just thinking about it. Check the box. Check yes or no. And just hand me the paper after class if you kind of new generation. Yeah, it's this weird little dance, but we'll see. All right, emails.
Hey, if you want to send in an email to this podcast, you can send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com.
Dear Lord and smaller Lord of the Chateau Super Beast, I recently learned of a change in the future lineup of David Cage games. They will no longer be exclusive to Sony platforms. I have questions. First, do you think that there's a chance this will go terribly for the studio as their ports turn into complete messes, or are their games so awful on average that nobody will notice a bad port?
This has been the case for a bit, ever since they showed up on the Epic Games Store, and it appears that Sony titles might actually be showing up on the Epic Games Store as well, which is absolutely fucking banana wild. Yeah, I have a feeling some of those ports are going to be ass.
I don't think anyone will notice. I think it'll just go over like normal, and people who are impressed with the realistic cinematic robot experience will be more than happy to experience it on their PCs, and that'll be the end of that. Like, especially,
I think Death Stranding's going to be an Epic Store exclusive.
Oh my god, dude! Oh my god!
Because like that's actually a realistic nightmare now.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm one of those people that, like, I'm just like, well, whatever, man. I'm just gonna fucking play it on my PS. Like, fuck you. Like, that is an active, like, this is some bullshit, but fuck you. I'm not even dancing in that fucking ballroom.
But the strands that connect us, man.
Dear Blanca with dreads and balding ginger Urian, I recently had a pop-off when I learned that certain parts of the song Modern Crusaders are in Latin, when the lyrics are translated, are a perfect fit for the themes of Part 5. You ever had a small or major detail you missed on first viewing, and it was really exciting when you found it later?
I mean, every JoJo OP, exemplifies this pretty dramatically.
Absolutely.
I don't know shit about those OPs, and then Jeff usually tells me, and I'm like, oh,
yep,
I missed it all.
That's always pretty strong. Shout outs to the Rolling Stones. Yeah, we talked a couple times about things that are movies that are great on rewatch.
I managed to go through the entirety of the Evangelion the first time before realizing that Shinji is a bitch.
That's a really
crazy detail, I know.
Super last minute reveal on that one. Never saw it coming.
Oh, wow, Shinji. I thought, oh, man.
Episode 24. Turns out. Hey, Stark says, I've always loved Bardock, I swear. Hey, regular Pat and regular Woolie. Ever since Evo, I've been really trying to get back into fighting games, and my primary focus is Dragon Ball. The thing is that always stuck out to me is that my favorite character has been Android 16. When the game came out, he just happened to be one of the highest tiers. He slipped, but my question stands. Have you ever genuinely loved a character who ended up being high tier, and did you have to defend yourself when people accused you of tier whoring? A while ago, I was making...
Well, they have at it.
Yeah, right. I was making a team for Dragon Ball, and I wanted to play all Saiyans, specifically the ones related to Goku, because I wanted adult Gohan's cool super with his dad helping him. Shit's raw. And in order for the team to fill out properly, I ended up going up with Bardock, because it's Goku's dad. Oops, top tier team. Now I look like a tryhard, but all I wanted to do was rep the lineage of Goku. Well, first of all, fuck the word tryhard. That shit sucks. Second,
Stop trying so hard, though.
Second, Capcom vs. SNK 2. My characters that I loved the most were Blanca, Cammy, and Sagat. Little did I know that was the fucking end-all, be-all meta of the game by the time...
That's the top-tier nightmare.
By the time it took years for it to get there, but that's where it ended up, and it was pretty funny. That's the only time it's ever happened to me. And then Steve Fox turned out to be really good in Tekken 7. And now Darley's she's shaping up to be...
Isn't Steve good in every Tekken that he's in?
I think he was really subpar in 4, but I might be a scrub at that. But I believe he was not that great in 4, and then they fixed him up a lot. But yeah, man, that shit happens sometimes. All I gotta say is if it's the funnest way for you to play the game, then do it.
No, wait, change that. That's the argument people use when they hack and cheat. The ultimate top tier.
Okay, well, anyway.
Don't cheat, though.
Let's take one here.
Stop cheating in video games.
D15 Sax says, hello, 100% completion man in Mr. Fighting Games. While playing DMC5, I noticed that Dante's EX costume works really well with Virgil's new black and blue look. You ever thought a character's alternative costume looks and fits better than the original?
All the time.
Yeah.
Like Nero with the white coat is... Because of the nature of the way that I got the code from Capcom, I will never get white coat Nero, and it bums me the fuck out.
Virgil's special alt, or not special alt, Virgil's alt in Marvel 3 was blue coat with gold trimmings and black hair, and it looks fantastic. And it's like a dark blue. I love it better, there's definitely a lot of that. Yeah, for sure, man. And Skullgirls, all the alt colors are better than the defaults for the characters because they have so many good ones. So that happens a lot, for sure. I
think there's a problem though in that oftentimes I'll prefer the alternate just because it's the alternate. And it's like, yeah, I'm different.
But when it's an alternate with a reference, like, I end up usually getting attached to it pretty heavily. So, yeah. Okay. Well, we can do a short one. It's not always going to be long. You understand.
I'm going to go back to bed. No, I'm not. I'm going to play Destiny or whatever.
Yeah. We're here to please, but we don't want to disappoint. We did it.
Wait, are we? Is that why we're here?
They can't say we didn't do it. We did it.
They could.
We hit all the boxes. We hit all the dockets. We talked about everything as usual. We had a banter. We had a chat. We took some emails. We did a full episode. They can't say we didn't do it.
We didn't talk about anything like purely revolting this week, though. Do you want to fill that quota? Do you have anything particularly disgusting you want to ruin people's lives with?
Toilets in Japan have water really, really low in the toilet. Really low. It's all dry bowl. So when you have to sit down and use the toilet, you're hitting dry. You're hitting dry the whole time.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
And when you flush, the water's only going to do so much, motherfucker.
Yeah. No, Yeah. No, that's good.
So get used to
the dry bowl lets you admire your work. Graffiti
stains. You getting? It looks like a car's doing donuts in the fucking bowl. Looks like Takumi's drifting on his way down. That's Japan.
Good night, everyone.